Hi everybody, it is March 13th, 2026. I hope you're all doing well and the day is treating you kindly. I overheard the curator and his buddies talking about transfer. How they're transferring everybody in April, whatever that means. Now, I don't know what exactly this means. We got all kinds of governments that have this transfer technology. I mean, they can relocate a human being from one place to another. It's been around for a long time. It's Star Trek technology. So they're transferring everybody in April. Apparently, something has been activated as of last night or this morning, and it's the 13th. So, excuse me, I'm so sorry. I'm drinking some sparkling mineral water, so please pardon me if I belch. The energy is a little dense. There is some sadness and some a great disappointment. The energy of a great disappointment. This whole system of relationship and people being used as energy sources, as representatives, but not in and of themselves, but of another. So it's like a weird thing happening with the identity. It's like it's that proxy kind of thing, Queen Elizabeth had a few different lookalikes that would stand in for her. Apparently they weren't allowed to touch their bum to the seat. But it's sort of like that here, in that there are deities or whatever that have what would you call them? Representatives, I suppose, in a human suit. So, like, in various religions, you have various representatives that stand in for deity or whatever. And it's kind of like that's happening. And I don't know about you, but I kind of have a problem with that because I am my own person, my own sovereign being, and I have my own personality and my own idea about relationship and such, So it's kind of strange what I'm picking up on right now. But I suppose that's part of the harvest system, or the part of claiming someone or something as part of your available tools. Trying real hard not to get an attitude. Apparently, there's a lot of complaint about that. It just seems odd to me that there would be deities needing people to stand in as representative when we're sitting here kind of combating the idea of identity theft, So it seems like there's a little bit of an oxymoron kind of a thing going on. Many of us here have been around since the beginning, thousands and thousands of years. Some of us have been prisoners of war, and we've been harvested and denied motherhood or fatherhood because we are a prisoner of war. Those unseen sergeants, or whatever you call your wardens, you know, they made sure that the prisoners of war did not have children or get married or have anybody to support them while they were arranging trauma events in their lives, right? So apparently something has been activated, and apparently everyone is getting transferred in April. And I don't know what that looks like, whether that is in the 4D or the 5D, and people are getting transferred out into the 3D, or whether people in the 3D are getting transferred out into an upper dimensional space, whatever they are in alignment with, or a lower one. Take it as it resonates. Yeah. As an empath, I have to stop and I have to check myself when I'm starting to feel a little bit of a twinge of a, you know? And I have to ask myself if it's me or if it's, you know, those energies that I'm picking up on that may be in the vicinity, terrified about this transfer. Some people are terrified because everything that happened to many of you has to be done to your abusers, and so they know what they did. It's been a long time, thousands of years, but you didn't give up. You kept reincarnating. You kept coming back and pushing that love up the mountain, trying to get to your destination. Planetary circumstance for the collective, please, Spirit. Planetary circumstance. I do have the dryer going. If it buzzes, it's probably going to be loud. My apologies. All right. All right. In the central energy, we've got the Four of Cups. Somebody's disconnected. They're being disconnected. They don't like what they're being offered. They're really upset. They were going for something more. They didn't get it. They don't care about anything. They're pouting. In their challenge position, we got the Ten of Pentacles. They may have been coming for your spiritual identity. They want to command your spiritual identity. But you didn't give it up. What's going on? They're thinking about your Ten of Pentacles. They got disconnected from your Ten of Pentacles. A lot of people are getting disconnected from the generosity of the wellspring here. In the subconscious, we've got the Page of Wands. So they're thinking about freedom. They might be thinking about somebody else being free. Maybe they want to be free. They got disconnected. Maybe they're thinking about, you know, exploring. Maybe they want to go exploring. In the recent past, the Nine of Pentacles. You've come into the fruits of your labor. Looks like you got a fella here. He's upset. They don't really appreciate the fact that you're coming into what you got going on. Ooh. And you coming into the fruits of your labor is bringing an ending to things. Like, you survived, man. Ace of Cups in the reverse. Death. No love. Financial loss. And we've got the Two of Swords in the reverse. Confusion. So there's confusion. There's no love. You feel empty. There's death. This is the end. It's really sad to me that the thing about it is that this life of luxury and the Ten of Pentacles, I mean, there was enough for everybody, man. But they didn't want the person who actually generated or was the source of it to have any of it. They didn't want to share what somebody else was creating or earning. Isn't that something? Three of Pentacles here. Collaboration. Information overload. They don't know what to do. It's the end. As I mentioned, the curator and his buddies are talking about everybody getting transferred in April. Well, today's the 13th. Could be any day now. I don't know what that's going to look like. If it'll be a timeline adjustment or if we will actually experience a particle event and be transported, you know, Star Trek style, to another location. I heard Nancy Pelosi a few years back say that everybody was going to wind up in Africa anyway. So, so she knew about this. We've got, that African president. He's like and all of them are getting together, creating the United States of Africa. So we got the ending here in the environment, and we got the Four of Pentacles in the reverse. Somebody's being greedy. Somebody might be afraid of something being greedy. These ones are being greedy. You're protecting yourself. The outgoing energy, please, Spirit. Three of Swords. Somebody's heartbroken, having some emotional pain. They were greedy. This is the end. They were greedy. You were willing to share 50%. But no, they wanted to knock you down, take 50%, and then give the other 50% to the person who was telling them to beat you up. When all they had to do was be your friend, and you would have given them 50%. This is so weird. But I guess they despised the woman that much. They just didn't want her to keep 50% of what she was bringing to the table. That is weird. That's the truth. So these power dynamics know the truth. They're coming together in the truth. These are true unions. There is no smoke being blown up somebody's rear end. You are both most likely earth angelics, and you have persevered through these challenges that you have undergone. There's a lot of things going through the mind, a lot of potentialities, you know. It's easy to jump to conclusions and to roll with it, right? But I've learned that in my spiritual battle and with these copycats and such, it's really important not to draw conclusions with the things that you see. Like some of it can be really traumatic, you know. And it may feel very personal, but it may simply be a message, right? So if we get our emotions too involved in whatever it is that's going on, then we kind of lose that stability and ability to see. But you've done a lot of research here, and due to that research, we've got somebody in a tower because of the strength of two together holding balance. Balancing the scales in all ways. And there are some restrictions being made for the codependent devil entities, and they are having a nightmare. They can't believe this is happening. Due to the routine, they were constantly sacrificing people, other people. They weren't getting up and sacrificing their own blood, sweat, and tears, getting blisters on their hands day after day after day to accomplish something beautiful. They just came in and destroyed somebody else who already had done that and then taken the credit for it. It's so weird. And we've got them coming forward trying to defend their belief system. And the King of Wands is here with this Queen of Cups. He's like, what? Maybe there's a lot of opportunity. Maybe he's looking at the confusion, or maybe the confusion and the illusion that they were drowning these ones in is being returned to them quickly, very swiftly. There could be some air travel. So a rebirth, total love and support, divine love, and a homecoming. So there is a transport happening and a celebration here due to the charity. So you're moving forward. You're still like these ones that had been trying to hurt this magistrate, empress, high priestess. They're furious because, she's getting this wish come true, this life of luxury, because she was able to maintain control of herself. And now these divine masculines, King of Pentacles, King of Swords, they know the truth. They have the money. They have public recognition here. They know what's going on. And so, we got a lot of stuff happening. And these ones here, they're messed up in the head. They're like, everybody's getting money. It's like they're getting set up with their residence, whatever they need, I guess, to supply themselves a steady home base to where they could then expand in whatever it is they're doing for self, family, and community, right? And I don't know, but apparently, I've heard through the grapevine that God is rewarding those who protect this and these women who are in their status of authority now, because we got a lot of nasties out there that we're trying to harvest their earth angelic merchandise and initiate rewards. So there's a lot of madness out there. Apparently there's maximum security in the territory, and these ones are like, they're like going around and around the border looking for any way that they can sneak in, because they're getting rejected at the gate because of the history, because of the truth of the history of what they participated in over the last many thousands of years, what they chose to be in the world. And it's nothing I guess it is personal when you survive thousands of years of this trauma, this tragedy, this torture, and then you come out of it and you get emancipated, and then you kind of get elevated like these women, these mother figures have been. God is like raising them up into their status of dignity and authority. He's giving them back their authority to look after and to protect these children that are under their guide. They grow their little tiny bones and their little tiny lungs and hearts inside their bodies, and when they push them out into this world, it is they who needs to guide, nurture, and protect them, at least for the beginning years of their life, and that's why they have all of this abundance and all of these gifts that God gives them. But you could have a distant twin flame who's lonely, overloading somebody with an ultimatum. Yeah, so there's some stuff going on. A lot of illusions, a lot of mental gaming with this streamline, this Wi-Fi streaming of radio signals and movies and such, right? Those who can see, sometimes I guess they would have visions that were not necessarily of the upper divine nature. And, I even had those. But those are I think those are the technological interferences of the Hulu and the streaming apps and whatever, because we're a sensitive transmitter receiver. So anyhow, we got the Four of Cups here. Somebody's getting disconnected. They're reevaluating things. They're upset. Oh, what I was saying. This younger was over there saying, and they're getting all this money and da 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 da. I mean, people are getting their homes, and they're getting like an allotment, like a charity, like a whatever, a monthly cash allotment or whatever, so that they can have their finances and their home base settled, so that they can work on making their family and then creating something for the community or for their family, generational wealth, whatever. So he's mad because you got some people over there that are they're protecting the feminine rather than attacking her, trying to steal from her, and they're getting the money. God's giving them the reward. Those who have not tried to steal it and be brutal for it, and who actually are protecting the source or whatever, the womb, and consumerism. Somebody's getting disconnected because they've been consuming the wealth of other people. They're starting to reevaluate. They're thinking about this Ten of Pentacles. They were coming after you for it. They wanted to do it. These guys were working overtime. Crazy, man. Independence. An independent woman. You earned all this on your own. You did it yourself. These guys didn't help you. Nobody married you. Nobody built anything with you. This is yours. Ten of Pentacles. You did it all freaking by yourself in the dark. While they were being mean, consuming your rewards and such, lifetimes. So they're getting disconnected because you're no longer going to feed them, and God said that they're never going to take anything from you ever again. No. You won't be able to give it to them, and they cannot take it. They cannot buy it. We got the Page of Wands. So they're exploring new ways of, they're reevaluating consuming people for money. They're like, oh no, happy ending. They're feeling skeptical. They thought that they were going to get this big bucket of love. They thought they were going to get your Ten of Pentacles, Miss Independent, and they were going to go up there to the top of that mountain and kick your ass back down, and it's not working out that way. Punk. You got your Nine of Pentacles here. It's yours. We got royalty here coming back into their wealth. And those people who had been consuming the value right out of their souls is getting kicked out. They cannot come in. It's crazy that they feel like they have the right to be there and to continue getting that handout, that monthly check, that free rent. It was hers all along. She made it all along, and she was sharing it, giving them every freaking thing while she was down there in a hole in the dark with a hard hat and a freaking nightlight on, digging for gold, man. And these guys were up there thinking themselves so freaking cool because they could just take it from her. They could just take it from her. She's coming into the fruits of her labor. And we got, of course, so she's coming into the fruits of her labor because of the routine of Mr. Teddy Bear Boy, these immature masculines, making extremely small offers and taking everything from her. And then leaving her in the dark to build up the wealth again. So what? So they could come in, make a small offer, and take it from her again? I don't think so. I don't think so, Jack. You're coming into the fruits of your labor. You had to rebuild the wealth lifetime after lifetime. And as soon as you got it, they came in and said, I love you. And then they would take it from you and knock you back down the hill and then have a centuries-long party with Jezebel on your hard-earned wealth. Not this time. God said you're not, she can't give it away. They can't take it. They can't rent it. They can't borrow it. Nothing's going to happen. She's not going to be supporting them in any way whatsoever. She's been emancipated and absolved of this thing here. There's death. It's the end. There's death. And it could be literal death to everybody who manipulated the path of this woman. She was here to create communities, to elevate people into a path of nobility, right? Raise them up into knowing thyself and strengthening the bond with Source Creator, to know the soul of the upper dimensional Star Nation soul tribe. And these guys have been manipulating people and driving them into failure. And that's the end of that. They may actually die because they've been doing this. And you have died over and over and over again. They may have driven your car straight into a brick wall in the history. There's no love here. There's no love in them. And you don't have anything for them. So, they don't know what to do. They're confused. You don't have any love for them anymore. They're like, well, what do you mean? It's been centuries. You've always come back and given me your sweet love. Well, God stepped in this time. God stepped in this time. And you know what he did? He sanctified. He purified. And he sent us to Osiris, who weighed our hearts. And he said, hey, this one's got the heavens in them. And there then kicked us back out, I guess. So that last sacrifice was God claiming us and saying, this is the end of the manipulation. These people are innocent. And so he sanctified them. He washed the sin off of them that they had been covered in this stupid routine. They come in, they say you've got your 10 of Pentacles, your 9 of Pentacles. You built it all on your own, all on your freaking own, while they were consuming you. So you had to ramp up the production because they were consuming at the same time you were building. So you had to produce what? 2.5% or what? Yeah, greater. Like time and a half. You had to produce time or quantity and a half or whatever, because they kept taking it from you with their stupid this. So there they are. They're coming in with a small offering, or this is the routine, and you're coming into the fruits of your labor for dealing with that, for rebuilding this 10 of Pentacles lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, and they kept taking it from you and stealing your honor. And then slandering you and casting word magic over you, hardening your waters. There's no love left for them. They don't know what to do. They're confused. They're like, oh no, what the heck? They need sudden wealth. They need sudden wealth, but there's no more love. There's no more love. There's death because of the manipulation. There's end. The last sacrifice ended any desire whatsoever to help manipulation, boy. No. That last one, God did something. He totally cut the cord. Like every bond, every hook that they had in the heart, every hook that they had anywhere at all. It's like that 3-day dead thing. It's like, I don't know if you go to Osiris, but then that 3-day death thing, it's like whatever parasitical things that might have been attached to the spiritual consciousness or whatever, maybe they die off during that process. I don't know. But Jesus wasn't the only one who rose from the dead, okay? And I don't know what you all believe, but yeah, there's that. So these guys, there's no love for them. They were using you for sudden wealth. This power of 3. Overloaded. Power of 3 is overloaded. There could be a lot of people asking questions. This could be somebody in the limelight, because that looks like a recorder and notes, like reporters. They could be getting interviewed a lot, interrogated. Some folks have been trying to delete some files, erase digital content. This is the end here with the World card. These nasties, they got technology, and they believe that they will be able to latch on to an energetic frequency of their target, regardless of who they are or what they are affiliated with or who family they've been enfolded into. They have expressed warnings to each other that if they transfer specific individuals, they also transfer everybody and everything that they're connected to. So this could bring in a war in their whatever timeline that they believe could be safe. I don't know. There's some things perhaps that these technological wizards know about or should think about. We got the World card here. So it's the end. It's the end of people mimicking the value of others. It's the end of the pretend game. It's the end of the greedy ones. So in their greed, they lost sight of what really mattered. The more they chased, the further apart they grew until the bond that we had was gone. It was just gone. So this is the end of them mimicking your soul value. They will no longer be able to use you for quick gains. They can't come in and just tap into your soul and make a quick withdrawal. They're not going to be able to do that anymore. No. Don't follow others' speculative advice blindly. They made you believe it was a shortcut, but not in reality. It's just a waste of time. And they now know that it was untrue. So it's the end of them mimicking your value. It was a waste of time. It was untrue. They brutalized so many brilliant lights and souls. They betrayed so many fiercely independent women who were capable of doing this on their own. They crushed them or did their best. When if they would have added any effort in the slightest to this effort, they could have been more. But instead, they chose to tear it down over and over and over again, consume it greedily, manipulate it, try to be, get her to be seen as though she wasn't worthy. They wanted to be seen. They wanted to be free. They wanted to be seen as the one who did all of the work. That's what they've been pulling off lifetimes after lifetimes. They've been going up there, taking that freedom ticket, and then saying they were the ones who pushed the love up the hill and that they needed to kick you back down because you're just a sleazy little Jezebel. No, no, no. No, no, no. That's the one that he was consuming her with while he was manipulating her. What a dick, man. I'm sorry, everybody. I don't have the most proper language. I spend most of my time alone and in the forest. So, not too many people to get offended in my world. So, we got the Four of Pentacles in the reverse. Yeah, they were stingy. They were greedy. They can no longer mimic your value. They're no longer going to be harvesting the souls of fiercely independent, valuable women. These immature men. Why? Because she could bend without breaking. This woman would have been an excellent person in your corner. She kept all of these nasties afloat. They were having a great time. a great life. A great life. While they were hurting her, she was giving to them, and she was ramping up production because there was so many of them. Taking. And they didn't leave hardly any left. But God came along a couple of years ago and he said, enough is enough is enough. So now there's the Three of Swords, divorce, heartbreak. They want to transfer with their technology. I don't think that God said this is the end of their relationship with batteries, and they're certainly not going to be able to latch on to anybody that has been emancipated and promoted. So these guys think that because there's medicine in the temple that they have the opportunity to use their technology to latch on. And I don't know if it's because of the nanobot or this graphene or whatever, heavy metal. Perhaps it has a specific charge or a specific code or a specific program. I don't know. But they think it's going to work. We got commitment. So they're heartbroken because you're in a commitment. You're in a union. You're in a union. So they're heartbroken because you're in another union, and all that you have built here, all that you have built while they were manipulating you and consuming you, is now in a different commitment. And you are protected. Those people who had been using you for sudden wealth and status and some freaking phony idea of one's own value. It's so weird that these guys, all these guys, would be riding on this woman. They would be like consuming her value and then presenting themselves in the world as though that value was their own. It is so freaking weird, man. They really fouled the reputation of the father. I mean, I can't imagine how God must be feeling with these ones being a representative in this realm of the father. Third party, whoring, leaving the divine feminine to call out for help after they contracted with her and then started brutalizing her lifetime after lifetime. Pizza girl, they knew who we were. They captured us, tagged us. We were their little cash cow for lifetime after lifetime. Now danger is approaching them because they're getting rejected. Absolutely the F not. You're reaching out first and you're digital detoxing. It's like you're not doing anything for them. You don't want to talk to them. You don't want to have anything to do with the bots or whatever. And it could be that your person or whoever this is for you, that's coming from miles away. So the miles may seem vast, but the connection transcends space, and trust that what's meant for you will find its way. Certain events are impossible to avoid, and they drastically shape your future. Embrace the uncertainty, knowing that serendipity works in your favor, and you are serendipity. You were that divine intervention, that catalyst, because you survived and you were able to do your shadow work so that you weren't just willy-nilly being triggered left and right and then vomiting your pain into the world, right? You took responsibility for it and managed it. So now it's really cool. You had to hold it together because you had all these people feeding on you, and you were responsible apparently in the spiritual space for feeding them, for helping them. Just like you're doing now with this new territory, these new people that you're serving with your skills and your value, your knowledge, your success story. But the previous ones, they didn't really appreciate you. In fact, they were jealous, and so they hurt you over and over, trying to shut your mind down, separating you from your spirit, commanding that spiritual identity while drawing off of you over there, and then repeatedly sacrificing you and doing all of that other stuff. And it could very well be, that now the royal mother stated that for the daughters, and I believe the sons, I don't know really, but she said that there's this lifetime story of Earth Woman that's been broadcast throughout the galaxy, and apparently it's pornographic. It's sick. And they were doing it for the universal gatekeeper as well as any other woman who had authority. They knocked them down over and over, and they got them into this prostitution crap in the astral and in other spaces, right? So across the distances, your family, your person is giving them a warning. They are not going to exit. It's impossible to reverse what they have done here. They think that if they can trap the divine feminines, somehow capture them again, that they can turn it around. But it's not going to happen that way. It's irreversible. They can't get out of this trap. They're trapped because they were interested in being a high roller. And they were using this, like they were duking it out, right? Duke. They wanted to fight with their person that they were supposed to share a destiny with. So they wanted to be the heavyweight champ. They figured it was a competition. Like, this is a union. No, it's a competition, right? Ooh, I conquered that one. Well, dudes are messed up in the head, man. Marriage isn't a competition. It isn't this. It's... You're moving into your destiny. You're getting your new person. You've got a new commitment here that actually loves you, because you focused on long-term discipline rather than short-term comfort. While everybody else was siphoning off of you, you were building. And you were building at 2 times, at 3 times the capacity normally required, because you had all these people sucking off of you. Now that they're no longer sucking off of you, this wealth is accumulating very rapidly. And you're sharing it with the people. This new community. And these ones want to get back in. They're wandering around the territory, the borderline, like I mentioned, to find a way to get in. And this is not going to wind up well, because we've got our indigenous, our original people are there, and they're not welcoming the uninvited guest with their best of everything this time. It's dangerous for the consumer of souls to try to hack their way into this territory. The walls are closing in on Mr. Social Mask. Mr. Social Mask, he was exploiting everybody. The walls are closing in. They were stealing your savings and calling themselves successful. The twin flames are getting a new beginning. You're not alone in this storm. As you gasp for air, salvation appears a breath away from safety. So you're not alone in this storm anymore. You've been pushing that love up that mountain over and over, lifetime after lifetime, and you've made it up to the top for all of these people while they were consuming off of you, whether you knew it or not, because it's been going on for centuries. You've got that love all the way up, and then this asshole claimed it for himself. He said, "Oh, I did it. I'm on my pony all by myself. That bitch was a no good for nothing dime a dozen," right? When it was her doing it the whole time. And it was him manipulating her, trying to get her to be ended over and over and over again. They stripped her of her honor over and over and over again. These assholes stripped her of her honor and took it and said they were it. God is here. God can look very, very clearly into the past and see very, very clearly who it was that kept pushing that love up the mountain. And it certainly was not this routine little Mr. Small offering. Oh no. A life of luxury never came from Mr. Routine Casanova Small Offering. He's getting an unexpected event. There's an unexpected event. So that's what I'm saying. There's a transport. There's like this escape. There's an escape thing for those gifts that were abandoned. So you were the gift and you were abandoned. And then they used you to do the work every lifetime while they sat back and got their free paycheck and their free house and left you homeless or struggling without anybody to protect you when a bully showed up that they would send on purpose to jack your energy around. So you who were abandoned, you were the gift, and you are getting a new beginning because you pushed that love up the mountain over and freaking over again. And you were earning the wealth that they were claiming. They were claiming that was their wealth. They said that was theirs. They claimed that because they had you hooked, tagged, and enslaved, prisoner of war, that whatever was yours belonged to them. They're certain of it. They still believe it. This curator, he's whacked, man. He's whacked. And he's being condemned. He's being condemned, and everybody who helped him by talking smack about these true royal sons and daughters they're caught in some tension. They're caught in some tension because Casanova missed the deadline. He was puppeting everybody. He thought for sure that this was a win-win, no-fail win. All the way. He was puppeting all these people. He had all this energy. He had all this wealth. He had all these golden tickets giving him access, these bridges to the upper dimensional spaces, while the original puppet was being hexed, cursed, cut off. It's weird. Now they got some distractions. They could be distracted by your channel promotion. So they had been siphoning your intellectual property, your God-given message system, and then twisting it and misleading people with it. And now they're distracted because your channel is being promoted. It's like everything that really, like the special stuff, that God held back, it was being saved, I guess, for your survival and then your emancipation. So now, their honor is in the shredder because they were wearing your honor. They had stolen your honor lifetime after lifetime. The pursuit of honor has led to inflated stories and distorted truths. They place their worth in others' hands, allowing reputation to overshadow authenticity. The truth of it is, they were stealing your honor over and over and over again, and now they're going in the shredder. The false flames are getting delivered a fatal blow by the twin flame. The true twin flames who are breaking through. A few days back, it was like somebody said that they had boots on the ground. Now, I don't know. But I can tell you that these twin flames that are here, these entities that have been consuming the soul value of women and children and, doing what they do with the men, they don't have what it takes to stand up to a true divine masculine. Regardless of the CRISPR technology and all of these weird things that this curator was doing, trying to generate an unbeatable army or whatever, they don't have what it takes to deal with this. They never did. And what they've been doing to these divine masculines, true twin flame, is heinous. And they've been broadcasting that heinous shit on video throughout the universe. Embarrassing the one that they were stealing from the whole time. Leaving alone, hurting her while she was alone. She didn't have anybody to protect her. She had to buck freaking up. And then they bitch that she's too much in her masculine energy. Isn't that terrible? The digital whisper, the copycats are getting an unexpected surprise. There's a celebration. Santa, they're being imprisoned by Santa. They made an unfair assessment of you and your family ties. It's been thousands of years, but eventually the weeds get pulled. It never fails. It's like a universal law or something. Plus a news here doing pest control. I don't know much, but I know that he was one of the first ones that gave me a message. So you restored clarity, and that was what did it. So you got these people that were peeping on you, copycatting you, digital videoing with a mask on as you for pay. These little prostitutes or whatever, they're getting delivered an ultimatum. There could be like an ultimate malfunction coming for those who were stealing people's lives, pretending to be them in their role while consuming their soul from an unseen space. This is terrible. They shall not step on the new family trees in this territory. None of the youngers, none of the parents, none of their animals, none of their gardens, none of their land, none of their trees, none of their fruits, none of that. They will not be stepping on the souls in this territory or the collective soul of the territory. It will be stable and it will be secure. And the children should be able to be outside all freaking day long, riding their bicycles until the evening time, safe. Everybody should know that they're going to be safe and they will not disappear. And if anybody does do a thing, that they're going to be, something's going to happen. Something bad's going to happen to the person. This isn't going to be a place like we've been having. There's a severe change coming. They took a gamble. They thought that look, money worshipers took a gamble on your soul, and because they were comparing themselves to you. They saw that you had value, and they didn't, or at least they didn't feel as though they did. This is what they had. You had the 9 of freaking Pentacles and the 10 of Pentacles under your belt, and this is what they had, and they were jealous. And besides that, they like men. They're very immature and they like men. So you've got this new connection here. You're in a vow. You have an oath. You are tossing those roses. Your purity, your protection is protecting those that you're giving bouquets to. It's really bad news. Bad news. We've got a secret weapon guided from above. It's a trump card. It's your distant twin flame breaking through. And there are more than one. Our new foundation keepers, they haven't been twisted by thousands of years of this kind of stuff. I feel like I'm reading really slow. Sorry, everybody. So we got the 4 of Cups. Folks are getting disconnected because they were consuming your life, your soul value, your effort. Independent woman working in the dark with a freaking hard hat and a headlamp, while these high rollers were up here freaking living in your 9 of Pentacles and your 10 of Pentacles. This is wild, man. They were consuming the freaking Queen Bee. They were consuming royalty. She's here to help, but they didn't want the help. They just wanted to take it. And they wanted her to suffer because they were jealous that they couldn't produce the freaking Ten of Pentacles on their own. So what do? They worship war and they blow shit up. Because they can't be successful, they got to tear everybody else down. And since they can't confess that the queen bee is the one that the wealth comes from, they have to blow every effing thing up because they got to hide their shame. And then they got to put it back in a jar and make her wear it and convince everybody that it's her, right? This is a sickness, and it's a, and I don't know if it's worldwide or if it's just in the country I live in, but I can tell you it's a sickness. These fellas, you know, their wives are men, and they don't like this woman or these women who, pardon the expression, balls to the wall, boom, get it done. And these guys are out there drinking their little drink, you know, wearing their little tie, whatever, man, wearing their little shiny shoes, walking around using big words as though that's producing something of quality. No, man, they're consuming the boss bitch and her freaking soul value while telling the entire world that she's irresponsible and unworthy. That's messed up, man. And then they have these trafficking rings so they can try to crush your soul, destroy the heart and the power in you. Fuck. Jealous men are the worst bitches. They really are. Not happy. They're challenged because you're not happy. This fierce, independent woman that they've been doing this to, this queen bee, she's not happy. She's like, are you kidding me? So you want to, and then they're talking out there, they're strategizing how they're going to physically end her 3D vessel, destroy her temple or capture it. They want to study her. They want to study her. And it's like, are you kidding me? You guys have been torturing this woman and these women and everything that comes through their womb for centuries, and you still lack knowledge. They don't understand how this person has escaped their very best efforts to destroy her soul. They had everybody on board. She's not happy. She's not letting them in the territory. God had to extract her out of this hellhole that she'd been in for centuries. And so now they're like, what? Oh, come on, I got my application here. You're the savior. Let me in. And I don't think so. You know, the sons and the daughters in this territory and their soul deserve better men than that. Absolutely. It's crazy. And that's why they don't want these queen bees in their status of authority, because they know that they've been very bad boys. I'm sorry. So these immature men were like, oh, consuming the soul value of you, taking your honor, saying they push that love up the hill all by themselves. You're just a lazy, no good for nothing bitch. You couldn't get nothing done. You can't even keep a husband. You can't even keep a house. Your children are running around like little maniacs. Why? You've exposed it by surviving. It's the technology. It's the poison. It's the driven chemistry change within the temple. It's everything. It's putting them on Ritalin. when they're children. They give them speed, man. They start messing them up at the very young age. And that's not even counting what they do sexually, for Pete's sake. We're closing this cycle. We're closing the cycle of these nasty jacks consuming your effort and your soul value, and then claiming your ticket, your golden ticket home, and lying, saying that they did the work, when it was obvious it was you all along, over and over and over again, lifetime after lifetime. This person's not happy, you're not happy, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if Jezebel isn't happy. We're closing this cycle. There's no more happy endings for Casanova and his Jezebel. Absolutely not. The Queen Bee is done paying for their life of luxury that they had not earned. And they're very furious. They want to unalive her. They really need to get in there and unalive her. They have to get that money and that authority out of her hands. They got to replace her. These guys are so messed up. They're like, they've been used to a life of luxury, of being pampered, being able to order people around, being able to consume people like freaking cattle and not feel anything about it. Hunt them down, you know, like it's just a party. I don't know. So we got the Nine of Pentacles here. You got your life of luxury. You're coming into the fruits of your labor. And we've got, because you have been dealing with a routine of these nasty jacks making you a small offer and then taking all that you had to offer. Lifetime after lifetime, you would struggle on your own. You would come into this fabulous wealth, and then they would come in and make a small offer and do it all over again. And it's because of this reckless sex. They get the cord, they get the connection, they get the entanglement. That's all it takes. And apparently, some of these women say all it takes is a verbal exchange. So you're getting the life of luxury because, yeah, because of the routine of Casanova making a small offer and then taking everything that you brought to the table and then treating you like a prostitute. What a piece of shit. It's goodbye. Goodbye, Casanova. No more sucking the teat of the queen bee. No, no, no. This is the end of their manipulation program. This is it. They've been having far too much fun, these immature entities. I thought it was an accident, but I guess not. So the jackass, somebody might be feeling like a jackass for making you go around and around with this manipulation. We do have death. Manipulation. They were driving your car, driving your life into failure over and over and over again, and so that they would have an excuse to kick you down after all of the loving and all of the effort that you put in to get them up that mountain. The jackass would kick you back down and then laugh all the way to the bank. He's going to have a funeral. He's going to have a funeral because there's death here and jackass and round and round. So they're triggered. It's their turn to go through the round and round. They have to live the life that they forced you to go through. There's not going to be anybody there to love them, and they may not even love themselves because they're going to have a soap opera, a freaking radio show going through their mind about how they're too fat, too ugly, too slow, too lazy. Nobody loves them. Nobody wants them. Oh my God. Have nothing to offer. You know, they're not going to love themselves. There's no love in them anyway. They probably already feel that way anyway. But they certainly don't have any love of anybody else now either. And they are confused. They're confused. They don't know what to do. Mr. Sudden Wealth. false security. They don't know what to do. They're confused. Maybe you're coming into sudden wealth. It's your wealth anyway. It was yours every cycle. You're the daughter of a king. You're the daughter of the lion. You could be the daughter of a god. Maybe you're a demi-goddess. You're something special. The way that you provided for all of these people when they were being so mean to you. And you're still so beautiful. You're just doing it. You're not complaining. You're ready. You got that hard hat on. You're buckling up and you're doing it. While what does Teddy Bear Boy do? Yawn. So lazy. Mommy's taking care of me. They were consuming the mother. So whoever was doing this, they're not happy because whoever this was probably promised her that this was going to be continuing. She was going to be getting sudden wealth. And now they don't know what to do because there's no love. They've been blocked. Nobody cares about them. They're, false security. Yeah. You're not dealing with no psycho? Sudden wealth is going to what? You're not dealing with no psycho? The cycle has to let go. The wealth belongs to you. They're confused. They could be having a mental breakdown, an identity crisis. They've been siphoning off of this queen bee for thousands of years. They've been insisting that her effort belonged to him, that she's been his slave. She has been his slave for thousands of years, as well as many others, all of the other earth angels. He insisted that their merchandise belonged to him. But he was in the position falsely. It's like this queen bee had a contract with that person and they boogied off. They started to consume her. They sacrificed her, drank the blood, ate the flesh. This person, she can no longer eat. Happy endings, closing the cycle. She's no longer seen as a queen bee. Everybody can see she's not a boss bitch. She didn't earn anything. She can't produce anything. She's not capable of being a boss bitch without siphoning the energy. So the power of 3 here that are collaborating together are on overload. People are asking questions. They're going through their email. There's too many responsibilities. No strings. No strings. They did not want any strings. They had a string, and then this person was trapped in this loop. Jackass going into the funeral. There's death, funeral, jackass, round and round, cycles trigger, manipulating this divine feminine, this queen bee. He kept driving her into failure and then claiming her rewards. He didn't want any strings. She doesn't owe him anything. She did it all by herself over and over and over again. Even while you may not even remember who this person is. This has been going on for so long. The cycle's coming to an end. They didn't want any strings. We got Firestorm. but it came out in the reverse. So we got the World card, right? Completion of a cycle. This is the end of them mimicking your value, your soul value. This entrapment, this ensnarement, this siphoning your identity and your valuable effort and work to support this tribe, these people. This person was taking credit for it. But you did it all by yourself and everybody can see it. They can't mimic you anymore. It's a waste of time, and now they know, because you're not mentally broken. You're not receiving karma. Nothing is ending for you. This cycle has to let go. The wealth is yours. It's very clear. You earned it, and they've been consuming you. Lifetime after lifetime, they've stolen your honor and given it to this person. They've given the queen bee's honor to this person. Lifetime after lifetime. And that's why everything's so damn sleazy, and the upper hierarchy of politics and whatever is absolutely sleazy, so freaking vile, because this is what they're doing. This is what they're doing. And maybe not in just politics, but businesses as well. Companies that are very big. So they were greedy, man. You're not having an ending. They were greedy. You're protecting yourself. You're flexible, bending without breaking, yielding to the pressure and then bouncing back. You love yourself. The fact that you love yourself and that you are flexible has this other person effed up over you. Everything that they did to try to get you institutionalized is now their reality. And they will need to go through cycles of it. They're heartbroken with this Three of Swords over your commitment. Your commitment with your person here, your distant twin flame. And your commitment to illuminating the truth. Illuminating the truth of you. Illuminating the environment. It's like you're bringing a healing to the energy of the collective itself. And individuals who had been traumatized by these bullies and whatnot, I think that they're also receiving a healing. I heard one say the other day that he even had hope. So it's like they've been revitalized. And given grace. It's like this fiercely independent, this queen bee who survived and is identifiable and is claiming everything that she earned through her suffering. And then I think because she had to up the production by so many percents because there was so many feeding off of her. It's like, I think that they probably have to pay it back times however many times she had to increase the effort, right? I don't know. I'm not God. Don't take... And vengeance isn't mine. So they're losing sleep because they've been blocked. They could have been blocked from getting readings because of their karmic ties, backstabbing people and playing tricks on them. Getting up with that, getting readings on them, meeting up with them, and then doing a karmic tie sacrificial thing, backstabbing them, playing tricks on them. Yeah, so somebody's losing sleep because they're blocked from getting readings because they were doing that kind of shit. They're ashamed of sending people into the darkness to learn their karmic lessons. And then when they learned those karmic lessons and earned that initiation reward, they would come up to the top of the mountain. And then this jackass, her partner, would kick you back down the hill, and they would claim that they had went through the lesson. They would claim that it was they who went through the lesson, and it was not them. None of them have been through level 1. They're going to the police station for leaving you alone, to a side hustler. They left you alone, and they side hustled you. They prostituted your energy, your womb, leaving you alone. Massive regrets. What he did with Jezebel. He's not a divine masculine at all. This is a freaking lowlife. Worse than an animal. So you're getting your wish, or somebody made a wish in the past. Oh, so you made a wish in the past that the shady mask wearer that left you hanging without closure, that was living in the moment, spying on people from secret accounts, that you get to turn your back on them. You're getting your wish. You get to turn your back on those people, on those third-party triangular or whatever the hell, saboteurs. You get to turn your back on them. Those people who are marrying you. You get to move on, and you are free. We're closing the cycle of them using you. Now, there could be some weird crap, because like in the history, we've got these high priestesses that were vessels for goddesses, or, and then, I don't know, they weird consort crap, I don't understand any of it. But then I've been in a war that I didn't know I was in, and I'm coming back online, and it's just interesting. It's very interesting. The levels that these people go to shut us down, right? So those people who bumped heads in the workplace affair business, they got bad credit. Yeah. Their GPS has bad credit. No GPS. Oh, divine masculine and their sex addiction secret. Oh no. Pop the question on a twin flame is heartbroken and missing you because God is fed up with this arrogant asshole marrying people who have spiritual gifts so they could screw over other people. There's legal matters here, criminal paternity lawsuits, and they're coping. They're drinking to cope. Or maybe you're coping through praying. You have a one-on-one union with the Most High. Maybe the Most High is sweet talking you, guiding you, telling you that you're loved. And these guys are feeling like shit because they chose reckless sex over family. They detached from family and then ghosted them for a toxic lifestyle. And trap. Like they could have sacrificed their whatever into a toxic lifestyle, ghosted them, trapped them. And now the true colors are seen here on these fake busy people doing love spells to get romance. Shocking news. Somebody's not pregnant. Somebody's not pregnant. The baby isn't theirs. Oh. So there's a disconnection of those who had been consuming the Queen Bee, her soul value, her energy, her intellectual property. Those who had been consuming the queen freaking bee, the royal freaking planetary mother, universal gatekeeper, you guys. She's a master. She mastered herself, and she mastered whatever kind of violations these ones were laying upon her. She earned those 10 of Pentacles, and she did it all by herself. This woman is not a weak person. This woman has been brutalized for centuries. Her life and her ability to live it is not a game for overgrown boys to play with. It's so insane. And of course what they do is they hurt the one who speaks out about it, but it's too late this time. It's too late this time. They've lost the queen bee. They've lost the divine feminines who are masters of themselves. And regardless of their lifestyle, what kind of clothes they wear, whether their skin has markings on it or not, or how they wear their hair, they are who they are. You can almost guarantee that the more effed up a woman has been in her life means the more value she holds in this system of things. It's the hidden truth. So these people aren't happy. The hidden truth is seen. You've been here producing this wealth all by yourself while they've been consuming you. This Casanova and his Jezebel queen. They've been consuming the wealth of your history, your historical family, your Star Nation soul tribe, potentially the tribe of Lyra. Every nasty thing that happened to you is going to be done to her and them. They all knew it, but they all thought that they were going to get away with it. It was taboo. So you're coming into a life of luxury for what this routine of this teddy bear boy, making small offerings for your big offerings and then saying goodbye. We're cooling it down. You could be saying goodbye. That's done. This is a jackass. There is death. There's a funeral. There's round and round and round manipulation. They're going down. They're going down. They're not going to be able to turn it around. They've been thinking about a 3D thing. I think it's far too late. It's already April 13th and everybody's going to be transferred by the end of the month. I don't know what date that's going to happen on, but everybody's being transferred in April, apparently. They're going to go to their proper timelines, their proper positions. I don't know if it's going to be beam me up, Scotty, particle events or what. The Bible calls it what do they call it? The rapture or whatever. Miss you. This jackass misses you. Isn't that something? Isn't that something? There's an Ace of Cups in the reverse. You don't have any love for these people. And they're confused because the psycho has to let go of your wealth. You're coming into sudden wealth and this psycho has to let it go. They got to let it go. We got pet, dog, cat, animal. They have to let the animals go. They have to let the tribes of the dog and cat go. Ooh, wouldn't that be something? Now, I know the lion and the jaguar are together, but the dog, that would be Anubis, right? That would be the root. You know, where the dark is, where all the stuff happens. Which I don't really know. And when I think about the roots of a tree, I'm thinking compost, I'm thinking what it draws up from the soil, what it brings to the tree. I don't know, I haven't thought about it too much. We got photographs. So we got the Three of Pentacles here, and they are on overload because nobody wants any strings. It's like, no, 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 no. And maybe there is evidence of them sleeping with many, many people, many people, in many, many places with no strings. But the string is already there with this intimate, energetic entanglement. The corded connection has already occurred. But then what do they do once they get that? They say, oh no, it's done. I don't want to see you anymore. But they've got access to the womb of power already. To the wealth of that Star Nation soul tribe connected to the portal. So they're overloaded now because there's evidence, there's photographic evidence of what they've got going, and they're being quizzed. They're like, hey, what do you got going on? What'd you do here? Why? How many children did they plant in how many wombs over how many regions? I don't know. Drinks. Somebody might be drinking. This is the end of them mimicking other people's soul value. They followed other people's advice blindly, and they made them believe that it was a shortcut, but it was a lie. You didn't have a breakdown. You're the queen bee. You mastered yourself. You earned that crown. Somebody's drinking. Somebody's drinking. They were greedy. They were greedy. They might be trying to protect themselves, or maybe you did. You bent without breaking. You yielded and bounced back. You love yourself, and you speak kind words to yourself. You could speak things into the mirror. I don't know, but you love yourself. Regardless of the world telling you whatever, because that's what they were thinking. They were like they pour this crap in, right? And now it's all coming back on them. It's all coming back on them because you love yourself, and it's a miracle. You're getting what you want. It's a miracle. They're messed up. It's divine timing. Oh, let me just tell you this real quick. I was just moving through it real quick. So you got divine timing. So there's a forgotten person who did something to the rose, right? But there was a transformation, and they're getting the message. Oh no, you're a fierce, independent woman. You got the powerful dark and the powerful light in you. They took a gamble on you. This clown. Oh, this clown is going to have eternal regret for what they did to the rose and how they used you as a street exhibit. They flashed movies throughout the universe of you, Queen Bee, and they are going to regret it. They're going to regret it. So they're heartbroken over your commitment, and they could be heartbroken that whoever you are with in this upper dimensional space is committed to you, and perhaps you are illuminating the truth together, or perhaps they're just heartbroken over your commitment to illuminate the truth. This is the end of the opportunity to use people as bedroom whores or whatever. You know, this is the end of their opportunity. There's not going to be any more people that they can just come in and have reckless sex with. You've illuminated it. Why everybody's freaking energy is so sick, right? It's because everybody, all these nasty jacks, they're out there freaking sleeping with whoever, however many they can. You got these women out there sleeping with however many they can. And everybody begins to wear the same soup, you know? To be seen as the same. And all that nastiness, you know, becomes very difficult to transmute or alchemize And unless you're stepping away from it, you know. And these guys had a great time. They had a great time. I'm thinking they thought this person was going to be there forever, and that's why they were so reckless, so careless, so mean. You know, after thousands of years, I think they just got themselves thoroughly deluded. You know, they just became thoroughly delusional, or maybe whatever they've been consuming, you know, the fluids, I think maybe messed them up somehow. I don't know. But they're getting disconnected because they've been consuming this queen bee. She's mastered herself. She's top level. She's upper hierarchy. She's wearing the crown. And these guys, man, wishful thinking. Wishful thinking. They're like, oh, but what if? And it's like, oh, she's a fierce, independent woman. This 10 of Pentacles belongs to her. She made it all by herself while she was in a deep, dark hellhole, getting pulled off of by this nasty Jack and his old Jezebel here. She thought she was a queen. She thought she was a princess. Oh yeah, she's been wearing that crown for thousands of years, body hopping and crap. Freaking body hopper. It's not me, it's trauma, and it's over. You don't have any trauma. There's no more trauma. So the hidden truth is you're not suffering from trauma. You did the shadow work. You buckled up and you got it done. And while these guys were slandering you, the whole entire world and universe, because they were broadcasting these stupid pornographic movies, whether it be you or your copycat wearing your face, who knows? Because I don't know what they do in the dream space when they bring in the dream lover, or how that kind of works. I don't know what they do with the dream self when you're not thinking you're dreaming. I don't know. I don't know if they have special cameras for that kind of stuff. I don't know. But apparently they can't. They have digital movies and stuff. And a few reads back, there was a warning about them broadcasting them. They're going to be in trouble if they do. So the queen bee, it appears, is finally protected. She was able to master herself and to hold herself steady throughout this incredible interference from this psycho jackass. And this says, "You're my drug," and it's in the reverse. You were their drug, and there's no more. They cannot draw off of your energy anymore to go out there and have reckless sex with the whole world and then claim that you're a prostitute. It was a crime. It was a crime to take the energy of a queen bee and then to go out and be a freaking hoe bag. While she's sitting here alone with her freaking hard hat on, working her ass off, you're out there trying to cast the illusion that she's a freaking Jezebel. What an asshole, man. You're sick. That's sick. 9 of Pentacles, life of luxury, because you were putting up with this routine for centuries. Small offering, knocking you off the mountain, taking credit for your labor, calling you a dime a dozen. It's goodbye. Goodbye. There's a Mr. Cool Down, and it could be cryogenics, because they were talking about deep freeze. And there's some water nymph stuff that's been coming up. So this could be whatever is loyal to Leviathan or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what those energies are. But there's a deep freeze, a cryogenics or something. So we got death, This is the end of the cycle. We're having a metamorphosis. The jackass is having a funeral because they were manipulating this queen bee. They had her, what, hypnotized, dazed, confused. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Driving you into a crash, another ending. Trust me, trust me, trust me. Oh, and then you were going around and around, and now they miss you. And it's like, are you kidding me? They could have left you there. So where you missed them, you were alone. They manipulated you into a failure, and then they left you alone while they pulled off of you from some unknown space, feeding on you. We got, this wasn't love. Fantasy crashed, truth exposed, done hoping. But you were the real thing because it came out in the reverse. You were love. It was real love for you. And they put it in the freaking trash over and over again. And they promised this person that they were going to get to take credit for this master, this queen bee. And the effort that she has been making to generate this wealth, this dharma. Everybody can see what she's been doing. There's no love in them. There's no love for them. They're confused. They're confused because this sudden wealth, this freaking psycho, he has to let go. They have to let go. The psycho that was obsessed with using you and your love for sudden wealth, they have to let go. They have to let go of you. You could be a Lyran. You could be having something to do with Anubis. Maybe you are protected by Anubis because it says cat and dog. Unsent messages, what was never said, holding back, drafted and erased. There was unsent messages. Nobody ever contacted you. Maybe now they don't know what to say. Power of 3 is on overload. They didn't want any strings attached. There's photographic evidence. They could have taken some kind of souvenir. They've been all over the world. Just wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. They planted their seeds everywhere. This filth, man. This energetic sexual filth. They've been spreading all over the world. And I don't know if it's an actual STD or something, but it certainly is an energetic thing. You lost me. You lost me. So this queen bee's walking away. They lost her. She's been emancipated. She no longer is required to serve them. They will no longer be consuming her effort while she is suffering. And all of that production that she has been accustomed to doing simply means that there's like 2.5 or 3 or more percentages of gifts and dharma to share with the new family. They lost her. Final freaking straw, man. Final freaking straw. It's the world card. This is over. They're no longer going to be able to mimic your value. This is it. Routine teddy bear boy making a small offering for all of this. Oh, hell no. No. We want husbands of value. Somebody who has something to freaking offer besides a freaking drippy swang, man. And infidelity and cruelty and lack of accountability or support. Somebody that will answer the phone if you're on the freeway and you get a flat tire. Damn it. So this is the completion of them mimicking the value of their spouse. Chasing gains. Taking shortcuts. Why? Because you didn't have a mental breakdown. You mastered yourself. You earned that crown. You are this royal boss bitch. Somebody could be drinking. It wasn't love. It was control. Somebody's drinking. It wasn't love. It was control. And now they've lost you. Because they could not cause you to have a mental breakdown. They could not cause you to be seen as insane or mentally insufficient some way. They really tried it. They put a lot of effort into it. And now the person that worked with him is not happy because everything that they did to this queen bee will be done to her. And it is not going to be fun. And it's not going to just be okay. It's going to hurt for a long time. So you get your dream come true. You're going to get what you want. They're messed up in the head. You love yourself. You were able to yield to their brutal attacks, and then you bounced back. And we've got, I never meant enough, unseen, unchosen, rejected, but it's in the reverse. The miracle is they're messed up. They're under pressure. The miracle is that you are seen. You are identifiable. You have survived. You are chosen. And they're messed up in the head over it because they did everything they could to defile you. They did everything they could to desecrate everyone. Everyone. They have to step down. They have to step down. They desecrated everyone for a long time in the image of the Father, for Pete's sake. So we got the Three of Swords, heartbreak over your commitment to illuminate the truth of what you have discovered of these things here. We got empty room, no people, the end of opportunity. They're no longer going to prostitute anybody. And the truth does not hurt. The truth doesn't hurt. The truth doesn't hurt. It could be that you there's somebody's heartbroken because you are committed to your person. And that's the truth. You're illuminated. You're committed to your person. You're committed to the truth. There's nobody sleeping in your room. This is the end of people coming and astral projecting into your space, siphoning off of you. The truth doesn't hurt. It's going to stop the hurt is what it's going to do. These guys are heartbroken. They can't draw off of your energy anymore. Empty room. They have to stay out of your room. Those astral projection vampires. They're in their head here. They're in their head. They're in their head here because you're not dealing with the drama anymore. The past has expired. It doesn't exist for you anymore. And it's like the game that these people have been playing, it's like the roles are just simply disintegrating because they were never their reality. They've been playing, they've been acting as though they are somebody that they're not. And it's crazy. Their identities are literally dissolving and you're walking away. The real one that they were siphoning all this wealth of, all this knowledge, all this stuff, this queen bee. Yeah, well, you're walking away. You're like, I'm done. And that means everything that they have enjoyed is crumbling because they can no longer consume you. Closing the damn cycle of them feeding on you. You're no longer responsible for their needs. They should have been nicer. You were willing to share it all. You gave it to them. Cycle after cycle, you gave it to them. Willingly. You didn't go to war. They tried to paint the picture that not only were you a prostitute, but that you were full of malice. Militant. That's not the case. Now, this woman has been alone for so long, she might be in her masculine energy. And she might be very, very demanding and firm when it comes to these jackasses not coming into the territory. Absolutely not. This behavior cannot come in and then play with the children as they grow up to become teenagers looking for love. They can't, they deserve better than this. And these men who are so angry that they and their Jezebel queens or whatever, they can't get in. They're not allowed in, and there's maximum security here. And they want to get in there and unalive this woman so bad. They wanna get her, and they want to do a thing. And that just means that whatever they're planning on doing will be done to them. It's crazy because the day of them planning this kind of shit in secret and then actually getting away with it is over. They're living in memories. They're living in the memories. It was only when convenient, only when they really needed something. And it was never really over. Sweet then sour, hot then cold. This game that people play with their soul. Why? And they get obsessed. Well, we are at 1 hour and 45 minutes. I've been kind of moving real slow through this one, it feels like. I'm just going to read these one cards here, and then we'll shut it off. Happy Friday 13th, everybody. It's amazing. And somebody mentioned something that, somebody mentioned that. Oh, it was, shoot, I can't think of her name. She mentioned that she thought that we had just had a Friday the 13th. But I don't know. I didn't look. So the Queen Bee is here twice. Queen Bee is a boss bitch. She's career focused. She is the one who gets it done. She will endure till the end. She will make sure it happens. She will absolutely never stop. And God said, all right, you're done. This is enough. This is enough. So somebody's wishful thinking, somebody was dreaming of you, this consumer, this thing that's not happy, they're dreaming of you. They wanted to wear your crown. She was promised, apparently, but they're not going to enter. They're not going to enter into this territory. They will not be getting unexpected income. And they're no longer tapped into the infinite flow of the universe because they're no longer tapped into this Queen Bee. She has been emancipated and everybody's true colors are seen. She's no longer required to serve them. She's no longer their prisoner. They want to try to do a 3D thing, but God's everywhere. So, what I love about it is like every time I can get on here and I'm like, hi, I'm still alive. It makes me like, yay, God, I don't know, take it as it resonates. So you earned it all by yourself, and they're not happy because the hidden truth is revealed. It was your treasure. It was always your treasure. You are a princess from a timeline such as this. Could be over 4,000 years ago. These guys have been mentioning Mesopotamia. Apparently there was a princess there that was the high priestess, and she was there putting the Sumerian and the Akkadian religions together, and somebody got pissed off about all that, and I think they unalived her and then booted her out. They said that she left willingly. I think that they unalived her, and then they've been unaliving her ever since. She's been down here kind of trapped in this scenario. Not anymore though. Not anymore. Not anymore. It's in the freaking coffin. The hidden truth is she doesn't, she did her inner work. She's not triggered. She's not suffering from trauma. She put an end to it. She did the work. The hidden truth is that she is the Queen Bee from long, long ago. And this person has been committing fraud for centuries. Her family, whatever. They probably all know about it too. They've been putting in a lot of effort. The whole freaking realm, it seems, or tribe, anybody was associated with them, feeding on these apples, these souls, these sacrifices. So they were using, this page was using you to get their free ticket out of here. We got happy ending, closing the cycle of them using you to gain a happy ending. It was forbidden. It was criminal for them to use your energy and then go out there and have sex with a whole bunch of freaking people. It was criminal. In your house, your upper dimensional house, while you were here trapped, they were up there doing criminal things. They cannot come into your house. They're not getting your money. They're not getting into your mind. They're not going to take anything from you. You got the 9 of Pentacles here because you've been putting up with this routine of these small offerings and them saying goodbye for a long time. You're saying goodbye to them. This is a cool down. They may actually get cryogenics. They may actually go under a deep freeze. Why? Because we got magic of the nymphs again. Magic of the nymphs. That's what I'm saying. We got the cool down. So the nymphs are here, and I don't know what that means, but we got mockery in attempt to disguise fear. So they could be mocking you right now in an attempt to disguise their fear. We've got this jackass. We've got death. We've got funeral. We've got manipulation. They were driving divine feminine into failure. This queen bee, these royal ones, and then they were knocking them off the mountain after all of this work to earn all of this dharma. They were knocking them back down, framing them in this way, manipulating them in some way, setting them up for failure, and then getting them rejected. This is what they've been attempting to do in a big way, but God's watching. Everybody's watching. And you guys came back online and you're all telling the truth. You're so brave. You're out there speaking boldly, and it's scary and wonderful. But this time it appears that it's the jackass that's going into the coffin. So, and you're getting the real estate because they can't ever draw off of you again. Yeah. Sacral chakra, creative expression, sexual energy, and emotions. It wasn't love. So you are love. I mean, they were using your sacral essence, Queen Bee, to F up people in the world with your powerful energy. That's more than criminal because you're a freaking powerhouse, a universal gatekeeper. I mean, you're big. Titan. Big. You know, if you Google some of the pictures of the mountains and stuff with snow on them, there's one of them that shows a Titan woman on the, like, laying on the top of this mountain. And when the snow hits just right, you can see her. And she's perfectly, it's a perfect silhouette of a female, like, laying on the ground. And, I think they use this particle accelerator or some kind of event or something. They turn people to stone. They've done this before. We've got a lot of entities that are out there. If you look at the rocks and you study them, you can see their faces and feel their spirit. It's amazing. So anyway, they were pulling off of your sacral. And then I kept hearing this song. Oh, shoot, I lost it. Something that they're always connected to you. They'll never be free. And I'll never be free. You'll always be a part of me. It's like this Queen Bee. It's like this jackass is going to go through the cycle that they forced her through, right? And so every sweet thing, Every pleasure, every gain, everything that this person produces in their life is going to be given to this queen bee, it appears to me. They'll never be free. They owe you an eternity of debt. Energy, material, what they've done with your reputation, how they tried to defile your mind to destroy your connection with Source. So we got sudden wealth again. Sudden wealth is here twice. So you're coming into sudden wealth. There's no love here. They're confused. You're getting sudden wealth. Look, and this psycho has to let it go. They absolutely have to let it go. They got to let go of this obsession. It could be that you're not a psycho. We've got unsent messages. What was never said. Nobody ever communicated with you. They have to let it go. They abandoned you. There was no connection. Lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, they came in and they made a small offer, but I don't think they did it in the 3D, because this time for me, I was in the dream space and this guy came up and he like this magic trick or whatever to cause like a sexual sensation. And it's like my hands in the dream space, I was standing there and it's like my hands started to go down and I was like, you know, what? And so I kind of stopped myself, and then he did it again. And I'm like, eh. And so then I'm like, no, and I don't want to. And I walked off. But there was a guy there waiting to sign papers. If I had masturbated or something in my bed when I was sleeping there all by myself in the dream space, that dude was going to use that as a what do they call that? Consummation ritual. And then sign a marriage contract and take it. And this is what these guys have been doing in the 4D. They've been getting false wedding contracts with the queen bees by giving them masturbation dreams, and then you don't get to remember what it was. You just think it was just some sensation and you woke up and you did it and then boom, you know? But no, they were using that opportunity to create an energetic exchange of sorts, and these priests are over there filing these false contracts, or judges or whatever. So the psycho has to let go of your sudden wealth. There's sudden wealth here times 2. It could be that you're going to get twice as much because of all of the effort that you have put in to sustaining their life while they were trying to eliminate yours. We got pets, dog, cats, animal friends. You may have a lot of them. This could have something to do with the lion, the jaguar, and what the heck? Dobermans. And Great Danes. Triggers it resonates. All the doggies, all the kitties. There's an energy shift. So there's an energy shift happening. This is sudden wealth, and it may not be monetary. And this has been coming up a little bit. There's going to be like an increase, a surprise elimination, a surprise gain. You very well may receive a whole bunch of life force, because they've been consuming your life force for centuries. Not only have they been harvesting your life out of your temple while you're here living, you know, they kind of make you sick, fat, need to get high blood pressure, whatever, right? But then they cut your life short, right? They take you out at 30, 40, 50. And so there's 50 extra years, right? So they take that 50 years and then they cut your life short. They don't want you shining too bright. They don't want anybody to recognize you, queen bee. But it's too late. Somebody did, and now stuff is happening. There's an energy shift. You're going to get a sudden wealth, like times 2. The cycle has to let it go. They got to let it go. There were unsent messages. They never communicated with you, Queen Bee. There's no relationship. You don't know who this psycho is, but this psycho has claimed your room, your mind, your channel to the upper dimensional space. They've been wearing your damn identity for so long that they think that this belongs to them, and they're deluded. They're deluded. So there's a big energy shift. They got to let it go. And whatever they have taken, it has to come back to you. Now we've got Make-A-Wish, but it came out in the reverse. They're not going to be able to manifest their dreams into reality. They have to let go of your energy. They have to let go of your mind. They have to let go of the bridge, the ladder that goes to this soprano upper dimensional space that this psychotic mofo never should be in. And his little psycho Jezebel, she should never have been up in there doing this freaking little taboo sexual crap, wearing this Queen Bee's face and energy. Come on, man. So the power of 3 is on overload. There's no strings attached, and there's photographs over and over and over. There's no photographs. There could be photographs. You lost me. Lost. So they lost. There's no photographs. There's no strings. There was no messaging. There was no back and forth. There was nothing. No souvenirs, no photographs, no memories, no cards. They lost you. They cannot claim the Queen Bee. There's no contract. There was never a contract. There was never an introduction of self. There was never a knowing of this person. There was a trap. There was a sacrifice and a trap. And I think this is that princess from Mesopotamia in the year 2300 BC. She's the first known author who made 42 hymns and poems for religion. She was there combining the Sumerian and the Akkadian religions. And these men took her out, and then they took over the religions. And then ever since then, they've been punishing her, because she was the one who was put in charge by King the king. Saigon, what is his name? Gosh darn it. Hold on. Sargon of Akkad. She was appointed by her father as the leader of the religious group at Ur to cement ties between the Akkadian religion of her father and the native Sumerian religion. And it's like these Sumerians took her out, man. They like tortured her or something. And then they trapped her as a prisoner of war. That's exactly who this is. That's exactly who this is. Yep. They took her out. Her father put her in charge of the religious stuff, and these religious men tortured her and took her out. They burned her alive many times. They've crucified her. They have done very bad things to her for being sacrilegious, when she was the one that was placed in charge of blending these religions to make them, to come up with a curriculum or whatever the hell for the community, for her father's regions. Oh, these guys are in trouble. These guys are in trouble, man. It's tea time. It's tea time, baby. Because they lost her. They no longer have her trapped. They can't use her gifts. They can't use her energy to hurt others anymore. The curse has been broken. These people are gonna go down because they lost her. They're not protected. by her protections anymore. They don't have her trapped anymore. She's not a prisoner of war anymore. She's been emancipated, which means that the upper dimensional divine masculine that surrounds the father of this woman in these spaces and places, they're here. They're here, man. These psychos are getting their asses handed to them. This cycle is being closed. This is the end. The world, they will no longer mimic your value. They will no longer go around in the world and tell everybody that they're a freaking queen bee and get cornholioed by every goddamn buddy. Excuse me, God, sorry. I guess it would be goddamned because they are being damned by God, I suppose, for what they have done here. God help anyone who disrespects the queen. She's the queen. Somebody's in trouble. So, you know, they're greedy and they're stingy, and you are protected. They overspent. They made you bump up your production. You had to produce 2 or 3 times more, maybe more, because everybody wanted more, and you kept having to produce more. Why? Because you're a freaking goddess, and you're here as a not just a manifester but a generator. It's like you can create shit right out of the thin air. You are the boss, bitch. You were here to enliven, to enrich, to bring the fruits of your labor to share with the people. So they got greedy and stingy, and you overcame by bending without breaking, by loving yourself. You back to health every time they shadowed you. These ones are now effed up over you. All of that mental magic is coming back on them. They're having anxiety. You're getting a miracle because you meant enough. You always were enough. You were always enough. You're chosen. The miracle is you were always enough, and you are chosen. You were always chosen. You're a prisoner of war. Dispelling an illusion. There is a miracle. The illusion, the curse has been broken. There should probably be an announcement eventually of this illusion. It's going to dispelling. The illusion is coming undone. Everybody's going to start to realize that they've been under a spell. Everybody's going to start to realize that these men have been manipulating them in a bad way. And women, okay, I know it's not just men, but I'm a woman, and this is my experience, and that's a queen bee, so, you know, please don't take offense. But there is a 3 of Swords here, so somebody's heartbroken over your commitment to whoever it is you're connected to, and them illuminating the truth. You're not backing down. You're very courageous. You are awakening people. There's no more opportunity for luring the little filly into the bedroom. Nope. Because the truth doesn't hurt. The truth is that they're queen bees. And you got these jacks getting them into the damn bedroom and then trading gifts, taking that big old package and giving them this and a whole lot of freaking heartbreak, man. While they flaunt their chosen one in their face, spending their wealth. This is bad. So now this is the end of the opportunity. Nobody's going to lay down for these guys anymore because the queen bee is out and she's like, whoa. Damn. Everybody forgot the value of their soul. karmic bonds, unresolved issues from past life cycles regarding unstable relationships. The truth does not hurt. It's okay to start over and over and over again. Rebirth, reinvent, rise. And it's what you've done, it's what you're doing. In the storm of everything, you are always transforming. And it's like these guys, you know, they're so used to playing a role that when they get a hold of an organic original, when you're consistently and constantly evolving into a new version of you, you're always starting over. These guys always, you know, they think that, you know, 10 years from now, you're going to be wearing the same clothes, having the same hairstyle, thinking the same thoughts, being in the same attitude, having the same addictions or whatever the heck, man. They think that they're going to be the same because they're playing a role and their role goes on and on and on and on and on, right? Well, no, you're the phoenix. You're the one who transforms. You're the butterfly. You do it in the storm. You do it in the fire. You do it in the middle of chaos. Over and over and over again. And you're always growing. You're always expanding. You're always rising. Your roots are always going deeper. Stabilizing, stabilizing, stabilizing. And now ancient teachings illuminate the mind. Because you have transformed. You've come back up into your boss bitch, queen bee, master level. And they shall not enter. It will be death if they come near you. Jackass is going in the funeral. Lots of people are going to be going out. They were using your sacral energy to have reckless sex with everybody. And then they told everybody that you were a prostitute. That is really messed up, man. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why reckless sex is so freaking bad. Because these guys go all over the freaking world, all these different places, and have reckless sex with all these different people that carry different, they carry different sexual demons and such, their attachments. And then they bring them all back and then they share them with others. And there's no marriage, there's no processing, there's no value, there's no commitment to make it right. It's just a wham bam, woo, now the whole freaking world is wearing that energy. They lost you because you have self-respect and you're making a power move. It's the final freaking straw. You're all about mindfulness, calm, mind, body, in harmony, focused, and connected. And these guys target women and men who are connected to source because they need those connections in order to pretend that they are that. They lost you because you didn't go crazy. Because you managed yourself well as a queen bee, as a true master. You are the master. And I've heard the younger is telling these guys, frustratingly so, they're masters. Yeah, it's like there's 2 and more of you out there. You're standing up for yourself. You're like, whoa. It's like, woman, don't come at me with that attitude. Just don't. It's been a long 4,000 years. We're tired now. Weary, 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 to the bone. Your spirit guides are your shield in this power struggle of ego versus the heart. And we've got 2 bodies, 1 soul, and this is pure love. Divine flower. You and your person, you got divine love. You're coming into sudden wealth. You are the queen bee, and this is you. You could have like you got your spiritual union already. You're a divine flower. You're so sweet, so pure, so innocent, so lovely. Your heart is like the lotus flower. It opens up and it's like, it's just like that. It's like these petals, and it's like there's so many of them, and they're so delicate, and it's like they just expand, and then all of a sudden there's this sweetness. However that resonates for you. Yeah. So you don't care about this kind of stuff. You got your boundaries up now. You're detached emotionally. Your lack of empathy, like I mentioned in an earlier read, it's like the last sacrifice seemed to do something with the empathy for these people. You're just uninterested anymore. Unbiased. You don't really care. You just don't want to deal with it anymore. You just don't want to. You've swam in this energy for thousands of years, and you just don't want to swim in it anymore. And God says you don't have to. So now they're having bad health and illness. They're really upset. They need to get back in your energy because they're dropping like flies. They can't hide what you already know. You've been there as thousands of years. Your soul knows. And the previous lifetimes have been recorded in your Akashic. And the queen bees, father, mother, and the whole upper dimensional tribe, and all of the other tribes too, probably gathered right now to put an end to this thing. They all know the truth now. They cannot hide what you already know. Everybody's true stories and testimonies are known. You've balanced your emotions. You're not out there coming undone. There could be moments where you visit your south node and you may express something that appears to be like madness or whatever it may be for you, anger, whatever. But if we don't visit our wheel on the regular, all of the points, the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful, and the north, south, east, west, upper, under, and center, then we eventually will get a flat tire, a flat spot, and we don't want that. So we have to visit those spaces and places while they're still manageable in a good way. It's a constant job. So you balanced your emotions. You paid attention to it. And what you want wants you. Infinity. Infinity. Lionsgate. Everything that they did to you is backfiring on them. Their plans failed. They could be going into the fire while you take flight. Everybody is being transferred in April, apparently. And I don't know what happens after April. Some people have expressed the idea that there could be a purification by fire. That once everybody kind of gets transferred to their locations, that this realm or whatever will be purified by fire, because they've been spraying barium and aluminum. They've been seeding the clouds with it, and it's been coming down for decades. And so the soil and the trees and all of the plants and everything, and everything has got this Ba for barium and Al for aluminum, this ball. Now this is the god ball or whatever, and apparently they're going to set this on fire, and it was a planned thing, and I just don't know what's going on with any of that. Except that it appears that some folks are going to be like raptured or whatever, transferred to wherever their new family is, and then the realm, which I think is this country, will go up in flames, and then it will be restored, because there was like pest control, and then this cleanup, and then restoration, is what Anu said. Anyhow, everybody, we're at 2 hours and 18 minutes. It is slow. I took my time with this one. I hope you have a pleasant evening. I hope that this brings clarity to something you knew already, and we are, it appears, moving into a sudden wealth transfer. The cycle has to let go. The energy and the merchandise of the earth angels does not belong to him. So there could be an energy shift, a wealth transfer, and it could very well be energetic. Okay? See you on the next one, everybody. Bye.